Hello, travelers. Welcome to Lore Spire. Today is an exciting day because Owlcat has finally announced the next DLC for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, The Last Sarkorians. Okay, this is especially exciting for me because on our Discord and in our live streams over the last 10 months or so, we've been discussing what we would like to see in future DLCs and a look at the last days of Sarkoris before it was destroyed by the World Wound has been at the top of that list for me for a while, so it's freaking awesome to see that Owlcat actually agrees that that's an interesting topic for DLC. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the actual announcement, and we'll skip all the fluff at the beginning and pretty much just start here. Our new DLC, The Last Sarkorians, will allow you to peer into the past of the Fallen Land and give you the power to shape the future of its people. Okay, so that is freaking awesome. We get to actually visit the past and see what Sarkoris was like before it was destroyed. We actually get to see a little bit of that in the game in the secret area of Arilu's lab, and I actually have a video covering that you can see at the top of the screen now, and there will be a link in the description down below if you want to check that out. But it does give some insight into what Sarkoris is like, and the events that led Arilu to actually open the World Wound that resulted in the destruction of Sarkoris. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. Anyways, back to the announcement. Meet Ulbrig Olesk, a strange man with the unique ability to transform into a majestic griffin, who remembers Sarkoris as it was before Arilu Vorlesh opened the World Wound. Take him into your party and experience the crusade through the eyes of the last surviving tribal chieftain of Old Sarkoris. So that's awesome. We get a new party member, and apparently he can transform into a griffin, which is kind of cool. Kind of alludes to something else later on in the announcement, but we'll get to that. Anyways, if we give this a little bit of consideration, it seems that the DLC content's going to involve us meeting a man named Ulbrig, obviously, who can transform into a griffin, obviously again, and who joins us on our crusade. Okay, now this implies that The Last Sarkorians is likely to be the first DLC for Wrath of the Righteous that can only be accessed via a playthrough of the main campaign. All previous DLC content had its own separate story that could be accessed by starting a new game. I suppose that they could still do that with this DLC, but just judging by the way this is worded in the announcement, it doesn't seem likely to me. And if that's true, I'm sure that there's going to be some players who are bothered by it. Personally, I've only had 5 or so full playthroughs of Wrath, so there's plenty left for me to do. I actually would enjoy the opportunity to start a new playthrough. Alright, so got my fingers crossed on that one. Now, given that Ulbrig was a chieftain of Sarkoris before its destruction, and that we're told that we'll have the chance to shape the future of the Sarkorians while we are in the past, I expect that we'll relive Ulbrig's memories through some magical means, but with the chance of doing things differently. And I imagine that this would probably work similarly to the Aeon's time travel events, but hopefully more lengthy and with a greater, more sweeping effect on the present crusade. It's possible, and I'm hopeful, that this DLC could change the events of a playthrough even more than we see from choosing different mythic paths, which would definitely add even more replay value to a game that I feel has quite a bit. Now, if all of that wasn't enough to get you excited for The Last Sarkorians, then this last bit of the announcement hopefully will be. Explore new places, unravel the mystery of your new companion, and perhaps win his heart. And if you like Ulbrig's abilities, you can select the new Shifter class for yourself as well. Choose from one of 6 available archetypes, so hell yes, we're getting not only a new class, but a full 6 archetypes for that class, so basically kind of like getting 7 new classes. If you weren't excited before, you definitely should be now. Fight as a humanoid armed with sharp claws or transform into a mighty beast, or both. The choice is yours. We've also added a number of new spells to make shifting more fun for you. So new spells, always awesome. Now it does sound like maybe this only pertains to the new Shifter class, although I was under the understanding that that was much more of a martial class than a caster class, but maybe they do get a few spells like a low-level spell progression or something. The last Sarkorians DLC will be available on March 7th, 2023, but you can wishlist and pre-order it right now in Steam, GOG, and the Epic Games Store. Or if you already have the Season 2 pass, it'll unlock automatically on release day. Happy shapeshifting! So let's recap. We get to experience the past. We get a new party member, a new mystery to unravel, new places to explore, a new class complete with 6 different archetypes, new spells, and remember this "when is Heartline?" So yeah, a new romanceable companion. And yeah, I would say that Ulbrig looks pretty damn romanceable. Anyways, as I'm sure you could tell, I'm pretty freaking excited for this. Hopefully you are too. I think that this could be really awesome. It has a lot of potential. Hopefully it doesn't end up being so short like Inevitable Access and Through the Ashes. Hopefully it's got a lot more length to it, and if it actually is only accessible through the campaign, then you could argue that it's pretty much as long as the main campaign of the game. Anyways, be on the lookout in the future for a video covering the new Shifter class, as well as other videos pertaining to the DLC here. Make sure that you like and subscribe the video, and look down in the description of the video to find a link to our Discord. Join us on Discord. We'd love to have you there. This has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.